What's going on, dudes? Jason here with some kill confirmed on Dome using the MP5. This was a gameplay that I got as I was leveling it up, which I'm happy to say now I have leveled up every single gun except for the sniper rifles to gold status. So all my assault rifles, submachine guns, light machine guns, and shotguns are now gold. And I'll be moving on to the sniper rifles next. So I think it's going to be nice with the Call of Duty Elite service that I can go in there and check out my accuracy and kill death ratio with every gun, and I can kind of determine which gun is the best in each category for me, which is kind of a disappointment because in Black Ops you were able to do that in the combat record, if you guys can remember that. So I'm kind of hoping Black Ops 2 follows suit as far as their stat tracking goes. Like, you could just see so much more information about your playstyle, details about each weapon, just so much more, like, ways that you play, things that could help you get better were in your combat record, as opposed to having to log on to a website on the computer to find out. So hopefully Black Ops 2 follows suit with the original Black Ops and keeps those things going. Here you see me standing right here. I was texting. This is what happens when you check your phone and you realize you haven't texted your girlfriend in like 2 hours and she's just bombed your phone, and you realize you're fucked and you need to start typing. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay because I won't be talking about it. At least I'm rushing around and it's more exciting than some of my Moab gameplays that you see me kind of camping out for. Anyways, I had a little adventure last night with my Modern Warfare 3 disc. My Xbox, I lay it horizontally as opposed to vertical, which a lot of people do. I don't know why I lay it horizontally. It doesn't really matter for the for the story, but I went to adjust the Xbox. Like, I barely moved it. Like, it's not like I lifted it up and set it back down or moved it to vertical or horizontal from the opposite one. Like, none of that. I just pushed the Xbox back like a couple inches, and that caused my Modern Warfare 3 disc to get that, I don't know what the terminology is for it, but the ring around the bottom of the disc that causes it to be unreadable. And oh my god, it pissed me off, man. My heart sunk when I'm sitting there and I'm at the main menu and I push my Xbox back, and then all of a sudden a little screen comes up and says disk is unreadable. Like, oh my god, oh my god, it pisses me off. And to make matters worse, I found out that if you installed games to your hard drive, you can get that little ring on your disc and it will still play. Like, all the information is stored onto your Xbox about the game disc, except for like the actual like game title, you know what I'm saying? So all that the Xbox has to be able to do is recognize what the game is when you put the disc in, which it can do. Like, once my disc was unreadable, I put it in and it still said, play Modern Warfare 3, and I clicked it, and then the game opens up and it says the disc is unreadable. So anybody that's ever had that problem before, and if you have some games that you would actually buy again if it messed up, like I ended up going out last night at midnight or 12:30 to Walmart and buy a new copy, just install those games to your hard drive, and I made sure to do that as soon as I got home last night. It only takes about 10 minutes, and it will save you, 50 or 60 bucks if you have to go back and, buy a new copy. And it's also cheaper than the $3 or $4 that GameStop wants to charge you for, if anything happens to your game in the next year, you can get another copy, like, that type of deal. So basically all you have to do is just install the games to your hard drive, and apparently it's much better for your Xbox for them to run like that. So just a little tip there, speaking from experience here. God, that pissed me off. But anyways, it's all good now. I was okay like 5 minutes after I got home and started playing again, but it was just, frustrating for that to happen. But anyways, let's see. Oh, all the new maps came out with this week for elite members, and then the non-elite members still got the 2 free face-off maps. Now, this is kind of like a controversial issue because the competitive scene is very happy about this. People that like to 1v1 and, game battles, people that like to play 2v2s, things like that. People like this are very, very happy that Call of Duty has finally listened to them and put out maps and game types for them. But at the same time, I feel like this is something that should be done separately. A lot of people paid $50 for Call of Duty Elite and have already felt like the service is a failure. And now you're making 4 of their 20 downloadable content pieces you know, maps that they'll probably never use. Like, I played one match. We won Team Deathmatch 30-29, I think. We played one game on these maps, and I'll probably never play them again, you know. I downloaded them just in case I wanted to use them in a private match or something like that. Now, at the same time, though, I understand that if they're going to add these new game types, they have to have sufficient maps. Like, they can't just put out 2 maps and be like, okay, that's it. You know, they're putting out the 2 free ones that everybody gets, and then next week in the collection pack, there's 2 more. But if you have Elite Premium, or Call of Duty Elite Premium, yeah, you already have all 4 of them. So, you know, I understand that you have to have that many maps to support the game types, but I feel like it's something that could have been done separately. So really, for May, all we got was 1 new multiplayer map, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It's called Oasis, and I played a couple of games of domination on it when I was leveling up my Model 1887, and I was just kind of protecting the B flag. You know, I had a good time. The map seemed pretty cool, but you know, just and on the topic of Elite, I feel like the service has been a failure, man. Because like I mentioned, man, Black Ops had such better stat tracking features for your weapons. And that's basically the main thing that I look on Call of Duty Elite for. I look at my weapon tracking, and then, you know, to see if my clan is enlisted in any, like, clan operations, which they very rarely have any of those anyways. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I paid $50 for nothing. And, you know, the main reason a lot of people bought them is the maps. But a lot of people that are, like, in my clan or friends of mine, people either don't have them, or they don't want to play against, you know, better players. They just want to play against scrubs all day, so we just disable the maps and never play them. Like, I've maybe spent 4 or 5 hours out of my 20 days of gameplay on the Call of Duty Elite maps, which isn't technically, you know, Infinity Ward or, you know, Activision's fault. It's just, you know, I feel like personally I've wasted the money for the Call of Duty Elite service. But, you know, what can you do? I mean, it's not really their fault. It's all choices that I've made to not play the game, so I can't really put that on them. But it just is a little disappointing that basically all of the downloadable content this month is either Spec Ops or for the new game type that I'll probably very rarely play. But anyways, hopefully some of you guys will get some enjoyment out of that. And, some other big news that came out is that I think this year is the last year that Activision has a deal with Microsoft for exclusive downloadable content. So the rumor is that next year PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 users will all get the downloadable content on the same days, so you won't have to worry about there being like a drop off in between, you know, who gets them first and all that kind of stuff. So looks like they're finally smartening up in that way, and you know, we'll just have to see how it goes. But you know, everybody's just freaking out right now about all these Black Ops 2 information that's coming out. And, you know, just everybody's just anxiously awaiting that game. I honestly feel like it could be like a Modern Warfare 3 game with just better, like, support and better, you know, like, perk arrangements, like where the perks are arranged in their slots and stuff like that. But we'll just have to see how that goes. Also, the other big thing that came out yesterday with the patch that you had to download on Xbox, which I believe it's already been like this on PS3, is they patched SitRep Pro to be able to hear dead silence now. And I have mixed feelings. This is like the main topic for me today, or at least the main thing I want to hear your opinion on is, you know, what do you think should happen if I'm running dead silence and you're running SitRep? There's a few different things you could say. You could say that dead silence is dead silence. You know, you still shouldn't hear me. The perk makes my footsteps quieter for everybody, so you shouldn't hear me, which is the way that it has been the first half of this game. Or you could say, well, SitRep Pro makes enemy footsteps louder, so I should be able to hear your footsteps. And that's what they just patched it to. Like, they didn't make them quiet footsteps. Like, if I'm running SitRep Pro and you have dead silence on, I can hear you fairly well. It's almost like, you know, we don't have any perks. I think it's kind of like they cancel each other out. Like, nobody has a third perk, kind of, so you hear each other's footsteps. Or you could say that, like, SitRep Pro should make dead silence people sound like the footsteps should be a little bit less than what the other people sound like. So, you know, there's a few different routes you could go there with it, and I'm just curious as to what you guys feel like it should be, because no matter what you do, like the way that it has been this first half of the year, dead silence was overpowered because, you know, SitRep Pro just couldn't hear it, and now Dead Silence is basically useless because people with SitRep Pro can hear them. Now, you know, obviously, if the person's not running SitRep Pro, they still can't hear you running Dead Silence, so it's not completely useless. But when you're comparing those two perks together, it's kind of just, you know, a weird situation on what you want to do as far as, you know, the sound. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. 51-11 with, it looks like 8 or 9 assists and over 5,000 scores, so collecting some tags there too. Hope you guys enjoyed. Later.